What if the key to happiness lies not in chasing dreams, but in letting go of expectations? Welcome back to Stoic Reflections, where we explore timeless wisdom to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. In today's video, we dive deep into the transformative power of Stoicism to help you manage your expectations and reclaim control over your emotional well-being. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed by unmet hopes or simply seeking a more balanced approach to life, this discussion will provide practical insights and actionable advice. Let's embark on this journey together to discover how releasing expectations can lead to profound peace and fulfillment. The problem of expectations. Expectations are an integral part of being human. They shape our aspirations, fuel our ambitions, and give us something to look forward to. For instance, imagine planning a long-awaited vacation, a serene beach, coconut water in hand, and waves gently lapping at the shore. It's a beautiful vision, one that fills you with excitement and anticipation. However, when these expectations become unrealistic or hinge on factors beyond our control, they can trigger a cascade of negative emotions. Picture arriving at your dream destination only to find grey skies, relentless rain, and overcrowded beaches. The paradise you envisioned crumbles before your eyes, leaving you frustrated and disappointed. This gap between expectation and reality is not limited to vacations. It permeates every aspect of life, from relationships to career goals. Consider another scenario. You've invested countless hours and effort into your work, striving for that long-awaited promotion. You've visualized the moment when your hard work is finally recognized, imagining the pride and satisfaction that would follow. But when the announcement comes, it's someone else's name that echoes through the office. The news hits you like a ton of bricks, and you're left grappling with feelings of inadequacy and resentment. Similarly, in personal relationships, expectations can be equally damaging. Imagine holding on to the belief that a close friend will always be loyal and supportive, only to see that bonds slowly unravel over time. The betrayal stings deeply, leaving you questioning your trust and judgment. These examples highlight how expectations, when left unchecked, can lead to emotional turmoil and dissatisfaction. This intricate dance between expectations and reality is like a delicate tango, where dancers often trip and stumble, trying to keep their balance amidst life's unpredictable rhythm. When we're feeling weak and unsure, we seek direction, a philosophy that can help us navigate our problems and find peace and happiness. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is a school of thought that has stood the test of time and remains as relevant today as it was when it was first conceived. This ancient philosophy, which originated in Athens around 300 BC by the wise Zeno of Citium, offers profound insights into the human mind and practical advice for dealing with life's challenges. Stoicism provides a beautiful and surprisingly simple way to address the age-old problem of expectations. It encourages us to shift our focus from the ever-changing external world to the serene inner space within ourselves. Stoicism advises us to concentrate on the aspects of life we can influence and to accept, with grace, the aspects we cannot change. This exploration takes you on a unique journey into the heart of Stoicism. We'll examine how its ancient wisdom can help us navigate the maze of our expectations and find deep acceptance in our modern lives. We'll uncover the transformative power of this timeless philosophy as we weave its principles into the fabric of our daily existence. In this discussion, the storm of expectations meets the calm of acceptance, and the ancient wisdom of the Stoics can guide us through the turbulent seas of our hopes and failures. The Stoic Solution. Stoicism provides a robust framework for addressing the issues caused by our expectations. It helps individuals categorize aspects of life into two main groups: things they can control and things they cannot. Many refer to this fundamental concept as the dichotomy of control. Let's break it down with a common scenario. Imagine you and your friends plan a picnic. You have control over elements like choosing the meeting place, preparing the food, and selecting activities. These are within your sphere of influence. However, you cannot control the weather. Whether it rains on the day of your picnic is entirely beyond your power. Stoicism advises us to be strategic with our time and energy by focusing on what we can control: our decisions, actions, and attitudes. Simultaneously, it encourages us to remain calm about things we cannot change, such as the weather or other people's actions. By adopting this Stoic perspective, we gain clarity in navigating the complex web of expectations. It's like wearing a pair of clear glasses that help us distinguish between what we can change and what we must accept as it is. For example, let's revisit the rainy picnic scenario. While you may feel disheartened by the unexpected downpour, Stoicism teaches you to focus on what you can do. Perhaps you can move the picnic indoors, set up a cozy indoor gathering, or even turn the situation into an opportunity for creativity. By shifting your mindset, you transform frustration into acceptance and disappointment into adaptability. In the sections that follow, we'll explore how this Stoic concept can be applied in real-life situations to create a fairer and more satisfying existence. By mastering the art of distinguishing between what's within our control and what's not, we can cultivate resilience and peace of mind. What's within our control? Stoics firmly believe that our inner world is the key to peace and a sense of agency. They assert that we have complete control over our thoughts, decisions, desires, and actions. Just as a horse's reins allow us to steer it wherever we wish, so too we possess the innate ability to choose how to respond to the myriad events in our lives. Let's return to our rainy picnic scenario. The lunch with your friends was meticulously planned, but the weather disagrees, and it begins to pour. In this situation, it's your thoughts, decisions, and actions that truly matter. You can respond with rage, anger, and sadness, blaming the sky for ruining your day. Alternatively, you can take a different path, one aligned with Stoic principles. Stoicism urges you to focus on your inner world, which is entirely within your control. In this case, you can choose to reframe your perspective. Knowing that you cannot stop the rain, you don't have to dwell on your disappointment. Instead, you can accept the situation as it is and perhaps even find joy in the last-minute change of plans. By shifting your mindset, you reclaim control over your emotional response. This newfound sense of mastery brings peace and stability as you navigate life's storms. For instance, imagine a workplace scenario where a colleague takes credit for your idea during a team meeting. While it's natural to feel anger and frustration, Stoicism reminds you that your reaction is entirely within your control. You can choose to confront the situation calmly, addressing it with wisdom and courage. By focusing on your inner response rather than external circumstances, you maintain your composure and integrity. In the subsequent sections, we'll discuss practical ways Stoicism can help you build inner strength and resilience, enabling you to face life's challenges with calmness. What's beyond our control? On the other hand, Stoicism teaches us a profound lesson about accepting the limits of our power. Some things in life are beyond our control, no matter how much we desire to shape or alter them. These include external events, other people's actions, and even the unstoppable passage of time. Returning to our rainy picnic example, the weather serves as a quintessential example of something outside our control. No matter how hard you try, the rain won't stop just because you want clear skies. Stoicism reminds us that external factors like the weather are governed by fate, chance, and the whims of the universe. Attempting to bend these forces to our will can lead to frustration and futility. Trying to halt the raindrops is akin to attempting to stop time. It's impossible. Acceptance is the cornerstone of the Stoic approach when facing things we cannot change. By recognizing the boundaries of our influence and letting go of the desire to control them, we free ourselves from the chains of anger and pointlessness. It's like releasing a heavy burden, lightening our hearts and minds, and allowing us to move forward. For example, consider a situation where a loved one makes a decision that deeply affects your life. While you may feel hurt or betrayed, Stoicism teaches you to accept that their actions are beyond your control. Instead of dwelling on the pain, you can focus on how you respond to the situation. By practicing acceptance, you transform helplessness into empowerment and frustration into peace. In the following sections, we'll explore practical Stoic techniques that can help us find the delicate balance between what we can control and what we must accept. Through these methods, we'll cultivate endurance and peace of mind, empowering us to navigate an unpredictable life. Developing virtue. At the heart of Stoic thought lies a strong emphasis on cultivating and promoting virtues. These virtues serve as moral guides and guiding stars for our actions and decisions. Wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline form the pillars that support us as we navigate life's complex and often confusing terrain. They provide the moral direction and strength to persevere. Consider these virtues as beacons of light, illuminating the path through life's darkest moments. Let's examine an example. Imagine a situation where a co-worker is taking credit for your work. At this juncture, the virtue of justice will guide you. Upholding fairness, addressing the issue honestly, and ensuring credit is given where it's due are all supported by this principle. Similarly, wisdom encourages you to consider potential outcomes and approach the situation with a clear mind. Fear may tempt you to avoid confrontation, but courage urges you to act, even if it feels uncomfortable. Self-discipline helps you remain composed, avoiding impulsive or emotional reactions. By aligning your decisions and actions with these Stoic virtues, you not only make better, more ethical choices, but also experience greater inner peace. You become the master of your own ship, steering it through the rough waters of life's challenges with unwavering honesty and strength. For instance, imagine a scenario where you're faced with a difficult ethical dilemma at work. By applying the virtue of wisdom, you carefully weigh the pros and cons of each decision. Courage empowers you to take the right course of action, even if it's unpopular. Justice ensures that your actions are fair and equitable, while self-discipline keeps you focused and composed throughout the process. In the sections that follow, we'll discuss practical ways to develop these virtues and integrate them into our daily lives, using the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to live a more meaningful and virtuous life. The power of mindfulness. The Stoic theory views mindfulness as a crucial tool for managing expectations and embracing reality. Stoics believe we should always maintain a clear awareness of our inner world. They emphasize the importance of being acutely aware of our thoughts and actions. Through mindfulness, we become more attuned to our thoughts and feelings as they arise, granting us the power to manage them with greater awareness and control. Think of mindfulness as a soft light we shine on our minds to understand how they operate. Like a magnifying glass, it allows us to see our thoughts and emotions more clearly and precisely. Imagine encountering an unexpected problem on your way to work every day, such as a traffic jam or a delayed train. Frustration and impatience often arise in these situations. However, mindfulness enables you to detach from your immediate emotional reaction, observing it with clarity. Stoicism encourages us to turn inward, becoming aware of our own feelings and thoughts. In doing so, we gain deeper insight into our emotions and uncover the expectations driving them. Self-awareness empowers us to choose our responses instead of succumbing to automatic, often harmful reactions. In the eyes of the Stoics, mindfulness is like having a trusted companion on life's journey. When events unfold outside our expectations, it helps us navigate the turbulent patches of our inner world, keeping us calm and centered. For example, imagine a situation where a close friend cancels plans at the last minute. While it's natural to feel disappointed, mindfulness allows you to observe your emotions without judgment. By recognizing the root cause of your frustration, perhaps an unspoken expectation, you can address the issue constructively and move forward with grace. In the sections that follow, we'll explore practical methods for incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives. We'll also examine how this Stoic practice can help us better manage our expectations and find acceptance in the face of life's uncertainties. Acceptance and adaptation. The ancient wisdom of Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson about the importance of accepting and adapting to our circumstances. It shows us that true wisdom doesn't come from resisting reality or endlessly complaining. Instead, real wisdom arises from learning to accept reality and work with it. By doing so, we free ourselves from the weight of false expectations and discover profound peace in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Consider a scenario many of us have experienced: plans being changed at the last minute. Imagine you were eagerly anticipating an outdoor activity, such as a trip or a day at the beach. But as the day progresses, it becomes clear that the weather has other plans, and your outing gets drenched in rain. Stoicism whispers in your ear that the path to peace isn't found in pointless frustration or lamenting the unpredictable weather. By accepting that some things, like the weather, are beyond your control, you free yourself from disappointment and resistance. Instead, you give yourself the opportunity to find joy in adjusting your plans, perhaps by doing something indoors or enjoying the comfort of your own home. Stoicism gives us the courage to dance with life's uncertainties rather than fighting them. We are invited to gracefully embrace the rhythm of acceptance, surrender to life's ups and downs, and find peace by letting go of the weight of our expectations. For example, imagine a situation where a major life event doesn't go as planned, a wedding postponed due to unforeseen circumstances, or a dream job offer rescinded at the last minute. While it's natural to feel disheartened, Stoicism teaches you to focus on what you can control. By accepting the situation and adapting creatively, you transform adversity into an opportunity for growth and resilience. Now, let's explore some exercises that can help us manage our expectations with grace and resilience, aligning with Stoic principles. Negative visualization. Negative visualization is a powerful Stoic technique involving the deliberate contemplation of worst-case scenarios. By imagining life without certain comforts or advantages, we build resilience and cultivate a deep appreciation for the good things we currently have. Take a moment to consider the possibility of losing your job, for instance. Imagine the challenges and uncertainties that could arise in such a situation. This mental exercise prepares your mind to handle difficulties with greater strength and calm. The goal of negative visualization isn't to live in fear or despair, but to embrace the reality of life's risks and cherish the stability and abundance we often take for granted. For example, imagine contemplating the loss of a loved one. While it's a painful thought, negative visualization helps you appreciate their presence in your life more deeply. By acknowledging the impermanence of all things, you cultivate gratitude and mindfulness, enriching your relationships and experiences. Practicing gratitude. Stoicism urges us to practice gratitude consistently. To do this, we must pause and reflect on the aspects of our lives we often overlook or take for granted. It's about being mindful of the simple joys, everyday comforts, and beauty of the present moment. Take a peaceful morning walk in the park. For example, it's easy to overlook the serenity around you, the beauty of nature, or the warmth of the sun on your skin when you're preoccupied with daily tasks. Practicing gratitude forces you to pause, breathe, and savor the small, everyday occurrences. It infuses your life with a deep sense of contentment and perspective. For instance, imagine reflecting on the kindness of a stranger who held the door open for you, or the comforting aroma of your favorite coffee in the morning. By focusing on these small blessings, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, fostering a sense of fulfillment and joy. Journaling. Another helpful Stoic habit is keeping a journal. It provides a structured space to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and experiences. Journaling is a powerful tool for self-examination and identifying ways to align more closely with Stoic virtues. Imagine writing down your thoughts and feelings about various scenarios in a notebook. Then, review your choices through the lens of Stoic values like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. This process not only enhances your self-awareness, but also empowers you to make better, more thoughtful decisions in your daily life. For example, imagine journaling about a recent conflict with a colleague. By analyzing the situation through the lens of Stoicism, you gain clarity on how to approach similar challenges in the future. Journaling becomes a mirror, reflecting your strengths and areas for growth, guiding you toward a more virtuous and fulfilling life. In conclusion, expectations often lead to disappointment and unhappiness in this world. Stoicism offers a time-tested approach to managing our expectations and embracing reality. By focusing on what is within our control, cultivating virtue, practicing mindfulness, and fully accepting life as it is, individuals can create more rewarding and balanced lives. As you embark on your Stoic journey, remember that happiness doesn't stem from constantly chasing unattainable goals. Instead, it blossoms when we accept things as they are, make thoughtful choices, and develop virtues along the way. Stoicism is not merely a relic of history, it is a living philosophy that can help anyone find peace and wisdom in the face of life's challenges. Let us take a moment to thank you for investing in yourself and joining us on this exploration of Stoicism. Your dedication to self-improvement is admirable, and we invite you to continue this journey with us. Consider subscribing to Stoic Reflections, where you'll find more wisdom and guidance to enrich your life. Stay tuned for an exciting discussion featuring Emma and Liam, who will delve deeper into the practical applications of Stoicism in modern life. Together, we can learn from the Stoics' wisdom and, with a renewed sense of acceptance, navigate the waves of our expectations toward a life of greater contentment and resilience.
All right, let's kick off this deep dive. And looks like today we're tackling Stoicism in expectations.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the jumping off point is this video you found from the Stoic Reflections channel.
Yeah.
It's called Get This, Stop Having Expectations. It ruins your life, with a couple of those dramatic capital letters.
Wow, that's a pretty bold statement.
It is right. But I think it's a great hook for us because we all have expectations, and I know our listeners are really interested in this idea of how to use Stoicism to, find more peace of mind in daily life.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a really common thread these days. And I mean, Stoicism has been having such a resurgence anyway, so it's perfect timing.
So true. So true. Okay, so this video starts off, and it really kind of throws down the gauntlet and says, hey, expectations can actually ruin your life. And, first glance, you might be like, whoa, that's intense.
Yeah.
But think about it. How many times have you had a vacation that just totally flopped, or a promotion you were working towards, just didn't happen, or even just a friend who really let you down?
Right. I mean, those unmet expectations, no matter how big or small, they can really chip away at our happiness,
Absolutely. And I think that's what the video is getting at. It's not that we shouldn't have goals or dreams, but it's about that gap.
That gap.
Yeah, the gap between our expectations and reality.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's where the stress and the frustration and sometimes even the anger comes from.
Exactly.
It's not the situation itself, but our perception of it.
Right. And so the Stoics, they offer us this different way of looking at things, not by lowering our expectations or anything, but by shifting our focus
To
to what we can actually control.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they use this really great analogy of a picnic.
Okay, I like picnics.
Me too. So imagine you're planning this perfect picnic. You've got the food, the drinks, a perfect blanket. You find this beautiful spot, in the park or by the lake, whatever.
Okay.
And then boom, it starts raining.
Ah, classic.
Right. And you can't control the weather.
Nope.
You just can't. But what you can control is how you react to it.
So do you, pack up and go home all grumpy, or do you find a way to enjoy it anyway?
Exactly.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Right. And that's like the core of Stoicism right there.
Yeah.
Focus on what you can control and accept what you can't.
It's like that serenity prayer almost, right?
Yeah.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yes. Exactly like that.
It's a powerful idea for sure.
Yeah.
But how do we actually, put this into practice in daily life?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting, and that's what we're going to unpack.
All right, I'm ready.
So the first thing we need to figure out is what exactly falls under our control according to the Stoics?
Okay, good question, because it's probably not as much as we think.
Yeah, probably not. And the video actually does a great job of breaking this down.
So what do they say?
Well, the Stoics believe that we have complete control over our thoughts, our decisions, our actions, and our attitudes.
That's it.
That's it.
It sounds simple, but when you really think about it, it's actually a lot.
It is. Because even when everything around us feels like it's falling apart,
Yeah.
we still have the power to choose how we respond.
That's true.
It's like that example they give in the video of a coworker taking credit for your idea.
Ugh, I hate when that happens.
Right. It's the worst. But you can't control their actions.
Unfortunately, no.
But you can control whether you let it, totally derail you.
You mean whether I scream at them or just let it go?
Exactly. You can choose to confront the situation calmly, or maybe just focus on proving your worth through your next project, or even just, like you said, let it go and move on.
I like that last option.
Me too. Sometimes it's the hardest, but it's also the most freeing.
That's true. It's like you're taking back your power.
Yes. It's like it's about recognizing that you have agency even in those tough situations.
I like that.
And that choice,
Yeah.
right? That choice in how you respond it has a direct impact on your well-being.
So it's not just about being morally superior. It's actually about taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that makes Stoicism so appealing. It's not just about denying your emotions or anything. It's about understanding them and then choosing how you want to engage with them.
I can see how that would be really helpful for someone who's feeling, overwhelmed or stressed out.
Absolutely. And that's something we're going to dive into even deeper in the next part of our deep dive. But for now, I think it's important to just sit with this idea of control for a minute.
Okay.
What are some things in your life that you're trying to control that are maybe actually outside of your grasp?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right. And on the flip side, what are some things that you do have control over that you maybe haven't been paying attention to?
I'm going to have to think about that one.
Me too. It's a good reminder for all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've been talking about control and accepting what we can't control. But it makes me wonder, doesn't Stoicism kind of squash ambition?
No, that's a good question.
If we're not supposed to get all hung up on outcomes, then what happens to our dreams?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
It's a common misconception that Stoicism is about being passive.
Yeah, I can see how someone might think that.
Right. But it's not about giving up on your goals at all. It's actually more about approaching them in a way that leads to greater fulfillment.
Okay, so how would a Stoic tackle a big career goal or even a personal passion project?
Good question.
Let's say someone wants to write a best-selling novel.
Okay.
Where would they even start from a Stoic perspective?
Well, instead of fixating on that endpoint like the bestseller list or the fame,
Right.
a Stoic would focus on what they can control.
Which is?
The craft of writing.
Okay.
The dedication to daily practice.
Right.
The quality of each sentence.
So it's about falling in love with the process, not just the outcome.
Exactly. Because ultimately, those are the things that lead to a good book, regardless of external validation.
That's so true. And it's almost like taking the pressure off in a way.
It is. And here's the beauty of it. Detaching from the outcome actually makes you more resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah, so let's say that novel faces rejection after rejection.
Oh, that's every writer's nightmare.
Right, but a Stoic wouldn't see it as a personal failure.
They wouldn't.
Nope, they'd see it as a chance to refine their craft.
To get better.
Exactly, or maybe even discover a different path for their work that's even better suited to their talents.
That's interesting.
Right, it's about turning those setbacks into opportunities for growth.
Okay, I like that. And this kind of reminds me of something the video touched on.
What's that?
The idea that true happiness isn't found in external achievements.
Right.
It's found in living a virtuous life.
Yes, such a key point.
Can you unpack that a little bit more? Like, what do the Stoics even mean by virtue anyway?
Yeah, so the Stoics' virtue was like the ultimate good.
Okay.
Things like wealth, fame, even health, those were considered indifferent,
Indifferent.
meaning they weren't inherently good or bad.
Yeah.
What really mattered was making choices that aligned with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline.
Those four again.
Yep. Those are the pillars of a fulfilling life, regardless of what the world throws at you.
That's such a different way of looking at things, especially in our culture that's so obsessed with like material success and validation.
Right. It's like Stoicism flips the script and says, hey, your worth isn't tied to those things.
I like that.
Your worth comes from the kind of person you are, the choices you make, how you treat yourself and others.
Powerful stuff.
It really is. And it doesn't mean we can't strive for success or material comforts. It's just about recognizing that those things are tools.
Tools.
Yeah, not the source of happiness itself.
I'm starting to get it.
Like a Stoic might pursue a career not just for the paycheck, but because it allows them to use their talents to contribute to the world in a meaningful way.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about aligning your actions with your values.
So how do we know if we're on the right path then?
Good question.
If external markers like money or status aren't the measure, then how do we gauge our progress as Stoics?
That's where self-awareness comes in.
Okay.
The Stoics were big on self-reflection.
Right. Always examining themselves.
Exactly. Examining our thoughts, motivations, actions to make sure they align with those core virtues.
So it's an ongoing process, not like a destination.
Right. There's no Stoic enlightenment, just a continual striving to live a life of virtue.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is a practice, not a quick fix.
But I guess that's also what makes it so powerful.
Exactly. Because by actively choosing to live in accordance with those virtues, even when it's hard, we build inner strength and resilience.
So that's like muscle you have to keep working out.
Exactly. And those techniques we talked about earlier, like negative visualization, gratitude journaling, they become super valuable for staying on track.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's all about putting those principles into action.
So we've got the theory now. Let's talk about the practice. Okay, so we've talked about managing expectations and finding peace in, what we can control. But now I'm really curious about how all this Stoic stuff applies to like relationships.
Yeah, that's a great place to wrap up because it's easy to get caught up in the individualistic side of Stoicism.
Right.
But it's not a solitary philosophy at all.
Okay, so it's not just about like mastering our own emotions, but also about like navigating those relationships.
Exactly. The Stoics believed that living in harmony with others was essential for a fulfilling life.
So those four virtues we keep talking about, wisdom, justice, courage, self-discipline, those become even more crucial when we're interacting with other people.
Absolutely. They're like the foundation for building strong, ethical, meaningful connections.
Okay, but how do those virtues like actually play out in real life relationships?
Let's see.
Like imagine a friend's going through a tough time.
Okay, yeah.
I want to be there for them,
Yeah.
offer support, but I also don't want to get like swept up in their emotional turmoil.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly, where's the line?
That's where wisdom comes in.
Okay.
A Stoic would approach that situation with a deep understanding of human nature, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles.
So it's about listening with an open heart,
Yeah.
offering support without judgment.
Exactly. And also recognizing that you can't fix their problems for them.
Right. You can't take it on yourself.
Nope. It's their journey.
So it's about being present, offering a steady hand, but also like respecting their process, even if it's messy.
Exactly. And sometimes courage might be needed too.
Courage.
Yeah, to offer honest advice, even if it's not what your friend wants to hear.
Ooh, that's tough.
It is. And it takes self-discipline to stay grounded in your own values and not get pulled into their emotional currents.
It's a delicate dance for sure.
It really is.
And this all kind of circles back to that idea of acceptance, doesn't it?
It does.
Accepting that we can't control other people, their choices, or even their reactions to us.
Huge piece of the puzzle.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
So much conflict in relationships comes from trying to force people to change or fit into our expectations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Stoicism reminds us to let go of that need for control
Okay.
and focus on what we can influence our own actions, our own responses.
So it's like choosing to respond with calmness instead of mirroring their anger, or setting healthy boundaries, but still offering compassion.
Exactly. And it's recognizing that letting go of that need to control others actually frees us.
Frees us.
Yeah, it allows for deeper, more authentic connections built on mutual respect and understanding.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about letting go to actually get closer.
I like that.
It's counterintuitive, but it's powerful.
This is really making me rethink how I approach my own relationships. Are there any specific Stoic techniques that can help us navigate all this?
Well, remember negative visualization.
Oh yeah, where you imagine the worst case scenario.
Right, but it's not just for preparing for personal setbacks. It can actually strengthen relationships too.
Really?
Yeah, imagine for a moment the possibility of a close friendship ending.
Oh wow.
Not to dwell on the negative, but to appreciate what you have now.
Right.
And to consider how you might handle such a loss with grace and resilience.
So it's almost like a mental fire drill for the heart.
Exactly. You prepare for the possibility of heartbreak, not to invite it in,
Right.
but to build up your inner strength in case it happens.
I like that a lot.
And it can help us communicate more effectively, too.
How so?
By mentally rehearsing difficult conversations or potential conflicts, we can approach them with more clarity and compassion.
Oh, that's interesting.
It takes the edge off.
Yeah, it does.
And of course, gratitude is crucial for nurturing relationships, too.
Oh yeah, gratitude's always good.
It really is taking time to appreciate the good qualities in our loved ones, acknowledging their strengths, expressing our thanks.
Just like saying thank you.
Exactly. Those small acts can make a world of difference.
Because it shifts our focus from what's lacking to what we truly value.
Exactly. And when challenges inevitably arise, that foundation of gratitude can help us navigate those rough waters with more understanding and patience.
That's like building up a reservoir of goodwill.
Exactly, a reserve you can draw from when things get tough.
This whole Stoic approach to relationships, it's like a pathway to deeper connection and greater peace of mind.
It is, even amidst all the ups and downs.
Right. Because let's be real, relationships are never perfect.
Nope. They're messy and complicated, but that's also what makes them so beautiful.
So true. And the beauty of Stoicism is that it gives us these tools to navigate all that messiness with more grace and wisdom.
Absolutely. As we cultivate these virtues within ourselves, we naturally extend them outward.
We become more patient, more understanding, more forgiving.
Not just in our close relationships, but in all our interactions.
Like that ripple effect.
Exactly. The inner work we do creates ripples that extend outwards, influencing the people around us and maybe even the world at large.
Wow, that's a powerful thought.
It all starts with that commitment to living a life guided by virtue, by those core principles that the Stoics laid out centuries ago.
And the more we practice them, the more they become woven into who we are.
Exactly, shaping not only who we are, but how we show up in the world.
I have to say, this deep dive has been incredibly enlightening.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I feel like I have a whole new set of tools and perspectives for navigating not just my own expectations, but also my relationships.
Well, remember, the journey of Stoic growth is ongoing.
It's a practice.
It's about continuous learning, self-reflection, and the pursuit of virtue in all areas of life.
That's inspiring.
And as you continue to explore these ideas, you'll find that they offer a wealth of wisdom and practical guidance for living a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Stoicism.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit life-changing. Until next time, keep seeking those nuggets of wisdom that can transform your life and your relationships.